So my name is Karen. I am the professional organizer for the Container Store here in San Diego, and I've been doing that since 2015. So I've just loved the partnership that I've had with the store. I'm here pretty regularly shopping for customers or meeting them here to shop for their project. I've been organizing homes, businesses. I specialize in paper organizing. I also do closet design, and it's just been a joy over all these years to work with the clients that I've had. They're wonderful people. So today what we're going to focus on is conquering the closet chaos. Does anyone have a closet that's a little chaotic?
Yeah.
Not bad? Okay. So we're going to talk through.
It's okay.
Oh,
I need my husband.
okay. So there was a clarification. Her half is good. The other half needs some work. Okay. So today we're going to talk about how do you go about editing your closet, which is just another word for purging. How do you decide what you're going to get rid of and what you're going to keep? Then we're going to also talk about whether to fold something or hang it. We're going to look at folding techniques. So I have some clothes. We can do some practicing. And then choosing the right bins. Now you'll see we have a lot of different bins here. So we'll talk through what makes one the best bin versus another one for your space. And then shoes and accessories, purses, belts, hats, like how do you organize those? And then we're also going to talk about creating zones in your closet. So having set spot for your shoes, a set spot for the things you wear every day versus stuff that maybe is seasonal. And also talking through if your current system is not giving you the right structure and the right storage, then what can you do about that? So we're going to just jump right in. So let's talk about editing. When you are going through life, when we are going through life, we buy things for the current season that we're in. And I don't mean season like whether it's summer or fall, but like we have a season when we're working. We have a season when maybe we're working out more and we have more workout clothes, or we have a season where we have a certain, we go out more and we have going out clothes. So sometimes those seasons come to an end and we don't always recognize it at that time. But like a couple of years later, we look in our closet and we say, you know, I haven't been using these clothes for a while now. Or maybe after retiring from work, it's like, still have all those corporate outfits and the things that we used to wear when we went to work. And we thought maybe we would still find them useful. But now we're realizing we just haven't worn them. So it's okay to go through and purge, remove some of those things, because somebody else might be in their working season, and those could be donated to somebody else who does need that type of clothing during this time. So recognizing that we have seasons in our life, and that when one season ends, it's okay to get rid of the things that were for that season. That's one way to look at editing your closet and purging. And another thing that I like to say, my motto as an organizer is respect your space. And what that means is if you have a closet that is just this size, just this one wall, that's a certain amount of space. But if your closet is this whole entire closet here, that's a lot of space. So respect your space just means consider how much physical space you have and how much can actually fit comfortably in that space. Because you can cram a lot of stuff in a small space. You can do it, but it just doesn't make it comfortable. It's not comfortable to put things away. It's not comfortable to pull things out. And then your clothes, they're just not respected. So that's my motto. So if purging and downsizing in order to get into the right amount of things in your space makes sense, then that's another reason to do some editing. All right. So also, when you go about the editing process, one thing that you can do if you're like, I just don't know what I should get rid of, one technique that you can do is take your hangers and turn them all around backwards. You do that?
I do.
Oh.
Yeah.
So turn them all around backwards. And then if you go 6 months or a year or 3 years and you have never turned that hanger back around, you can probably put that in the donation bin pretty easily, right? So that's one thing that you can do, is to turn the hangers backwards. And then another thing is keep a donations box or bag in your closet. And I also recommend keeping one in another area of the house for like other household stuff, but in your closet, just keep a small box or bag. And then as you pull something off the hanger, as you look at a pair of shoes and you're like, I'm just not going to wear those shoes anymore, go ahead and put it in the bag. And then when the bag gets full, however long that takes, you can just take the bag for donation. And it doesn't make purging a big event. It's just every day, purge a little bit here and there, one thing here, one thing there, and then it keeps the amount of things in your closet lower, especially if you're still in the shopping mode. If you're still bringing more things in, you want to have a way for some things to be exiting, right? Okay, so you each have one of these envelopes. So this is called thredUP. And so thredUP is also a way to donate some things, but you're really getting something for it. So when you have some things that you want to get rid of, instead of putting them just in a donation bag and dropping them off a local thrift store, you can send them to thredUP. And if they sell any of your items, then you're actually going to get a gift card for the Container Store. So it's a win-win, right? So take these, and if you, they have them at the store here, so you're welcome to.
You can take more than one.
Yeah, take more than one. You know, as yours, he might need a couple, right? So then, yeah, you can continue to do that, and then if they sell any of the things that you donate, then you can get a store credit here at the Container Store. So that's really cool. All right. So another thing to think about when you're editing is don't try to do your whole closet in one day. That will probably be overwhelming. But if you think about, I'm going to do all my jeans. I'm just going to focus on my jeans. I'm going to try them all on. I'm going to see if they still fit. And I'm going to get rid of the ones that don't fit anymore. And I'm going to keep what I still wear. And then maybe the next week or the next day, however your timing works, then you can focus on t-shirts. Or then you can focus on shoes. But if you keep it just one section at a time, then it's not overwhelming. You're able to really zone in on what that item is and how often you're using it, or that category. Okay.
I have one question.
Oh,
On the thredUP.
Yes, a question.
Do you mail that in, or you bring it here to the store?
You are going to put, there's a bag in there that you fill up, and then you're going to drop it off at a FedEx location.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a partnership
And
with
it's
FedEx.
prepaid?
And it's prepaid.
Great.
I know, it's easy, right? It's going to work really, really well. Okay, so let's talk about folding versus hanging. So let me just ask you, do you fold your jeans or hang your jeans?
Hold my jeans.
Fold my jeans? Folder?
Hang.
Hang. Okay.
I hang
So-
my surf pants, but not
Yeah.
jeans.
Yeah. So is there a right or wrong answer to that?
No.
No, there is not. Since I've been in San Diego about 12 years, I've lived in probably 17 different places. And in some places I hung my jeans, and in some places I folded my jeans. So it really is a matter of what is your space? How do you want to use it? You know, do you have the room to hang them, or do you want to fold them? Do you have more shelf space, more drawer space than hanging space? So it's really just preference, right? So things that are good to hang are the lighter fabrics, right, that are hard to fold anyway. And then more structured things, like obviously a suit jacket you want to hang because you want to keep the structure of the garment. How about athletic wear? Your yoga pants.
I have bins. Like the one-
You have bins? Okay.
I usually hang our stuff dry, so it's easy to just keep them.
Okay, so hanging after laundry to dry, and then just putting them in the closet from there on hangers. Nice.
I usually drawers.
You use drawers. Okay, again, kind of just preference on that, if you have the room to hang or if you have the room in the drawers, right? All right, I want to point out that sometimes I find this in closets where, now this hanging rod is really high, then there's a lot of space underneath on this shelf, but sometimes it's not as high. And the clothes come all the way down here. And then guess what I see? Stacks of clothes like this. Have you ever seen that before? So I try to teach my clients that this shelf is really only a shelf if there's some space on it. Otherwise, don't think of it as a shelf because then it's crowding all of the clothes together. That's just one common thing that I will see. Let's talk about hangers. We have a lot of hangers on display here today. Do you have a favorite type of hanger?
I like the ones where there's no slip. When I have they're old now. They're those old felt hanger type.
Okay.
Things, but some of them are broken. You know, I've got a mismatch.
Okay, so the no slip hangers, the velvet no slip hangers.
Velvet, yeah. I see they have rubber here.
Right, yes.
I use those for tops, and then I hang my bottoms like upside down
Yeah,
little
pants
clips so
hangers.
that they stay kind of.
Oh, yes, yes,
Clip hangers, yes.
yes, these.
For shirts and
Mm-hmm.
pants. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Okay, and how about you? Do you have a favorite hanger, type of hanger?
Actually managed to standardize pretty well. I have the non-slip with like the rubber on the shoulders, and then I have clip hangers, and then I have some smaller felt hangers for my daughter's shirts that are smaller in shoulder and need better support.
Yeah, so you have found the right hangers for each application in the closet. Very good.
I
Well,
don't have to flip carpet.
yes, very good. So some people like to hang pants just folded right over a hanger, and some people like to hang them long, which,
And then they have those old-fashioned ones, which I don't think they have anymore for pants, where it was the wood slats that
oh,
I don't
yes,
think they use those anymore.
right. And then this is another type with the clips on it. Yes. Right. So the wooden hangers are really nice. They're substantial.
I use those for coats.
Yes. For clothing that is a little more weighty, they support it really well. And then the hangers that are, well, let me see. The huggable hangers, the non-slip hangers, this, as you were mentioning, is that rubber version versus the velvet version, but it's going to keep this from slipping off, which is really nice. And then another option, this is a wooden hanger, but it has a grippy part on the edge of it. So this is a way if somebody wanted to more dress up the hangers, but it's still going to hold the fabrics really nicely. So one thing that I have noticed over the years of organizing is that women want and need hangers that hold onto your clothes so it doesn't fall off. But a man just wants to rip and go. So he will never opt for a non-slip hanger. He is going to want the plastic or the wooden where his clothes are just going to come off in one and then he's off and running. So. All right. How do you organize the hanging clothes in your closet?
I have a section for the tops and then by color, and then I have a section for the dresses. Well, the jackets, the dresses, and the pants.
Okay.
And also by color.
Okay. So each type of clothing and then color within.
That's
Yeah. Yeah.
Then I have a separate closet, you know, for the coats and the outerwear.
The outer coats. Okay. Heidi, what do you do?
Oh, I usually hang things by outfit. My daughter has more options because she spends more time getting dressed. I usually hang things by outfit over, this much space, and then I have this much space. That is all the things that I can't get rid of, but I haven't touched it for years.
Your thredUP.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So Heidi was saying
But I like them.
that
Sentimental value.
that she's hanging her things by outfit. So she's already putting together the tops and the bottoms as an outfit. So that's really clever too. And again, it's just up to preference. But hanging, some people like to do the rainbow and have, all the different colors together. So if you're looking for a yellow shirt, they're all together versus they're all spread out and mixed in. That organization by color will help you when you're finding things. Another thing that I like to suggest to clients when they're in their hanging clothes is when you take something off of a hanger, when you decide that you're going to wear this blouse, take the empty hanger and put it at the end. And then if you're going to wear this one, take the empty hanger and put it at the end. And so what happens then is when it's time to do laundry, all of your empty hangers are together, and it's really easy just to grab them and start hanging everything. And then the other thing is you don't have empty hangers sort of cluttering up where all of your clothes are hanging. All right, do you mind putting those back on for me? Thanks.
Do you ever advise to get those, like I've seen them, I've never used them, where they're like multiple, like it can hang like 3 tops or 3 pairs of pants or...
I'm glad you asked that question. I don't like those hangers. I don't ever use those with clients. I feel like depending on what's hanging on there, when you get to the bottom rung, it's hanging pretty low and it might not even fit in that hanging space. Plus, I just think it's harder to get things off because you're trying to fight against the other things that are hanging there. So I personally don't recommend them. And
Unless you're really cramped for space.
yeah. Oh,
Oh, this.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, this doesn't have grippies, and this is
Oh,
too smooth.
got it. Here, let's trade.
Not the wrong.
Yeah, just the wrong one. Maybe shouldn't have asked somebody OCD to help me report.
Okay. Thank you. So another thing that I like to teach clients is when you have a sleeveless blouse, to use a hanger that has the rod on the bottom that's closed versus one like this. Because I have found that when it's open like this part will get stuck in the other hangers.
Yeah.
But this one, somehow, just because it's more finished, and has more substance to it, doesn't get caught in the other hangers. So that's just a tip on hangers. If you don't have any of these hangers, you don't have to worry. Okay. So when you are deciding to fold things and have them on a shelf in a closet, one thing that can be helpful if you have a stack of folded items is to then have a shelf divider. So this shelf divider is going to create a section here so nothing is going to fall over, and it creates that order that you need, that system that you need. Now you can also fold things and put them in a container, a basket, and put it on a shelf if you like as well. Now, what kinds of things do you put in a dresser versus in your closet folded?
I don't have a dresser.
No dresser.
No dresser.
I don't have a dresser either.
No dresser. Dressers are out.
Well, I'm getting one because before, when I had the different shelf, but I would obviously like underwear and socks.
I do have a
smaller items.
Yeah.
I would put like I'd have a drawer for like jeans,
Mm-hmm.
a drawer for like my athletic kind of,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe some t-shirts that I wouldn't hang up.
guess I have two drawers. I have my lingerie, if you will, and socks.
Your
And then I
undergarments,
have
yes.
two, one for
Yeah.
jeans and one for pajamas.
Yeah, pajamas.
Okay, so more like casual things,
Casual,
right?
yeah.
T-shirts, pajamas, undergarments, athletic wear. Yeah, I put sweatshirts. I have my sweatshirts in a drawer.
Bulkers,
Mhm.
sweaters.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. Okay, so we are going to talk now about folding. And I'm going to show you some folding techniques. Well, let me just bring this bag over. Oops. Okay, so folding folding t-shirts. Has anyone heard of Marie Kondo? And has anyone folded their things the way that she teaches?
I've tried.
A little bit? No way? No. Okay. Is it because, well, tell me why.
I know who she is, but I've never learned about how she folds things. So
Oh, okay.
same.
Okay, very good. Well, I'm going to teach you that style of folding. It's not necessarily going to be exactly like Marie Kondo approved, but it's that idea, right?
You
Like,
haven't been certified?
I'm not a certified Marie Kondo folder, but the idea behind it, the concept behind it is really good.
It does look nice.
Yeah.
A lot of times I just don't take the time, I'm too lazy,
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just fold it the way I've been folding for years and not, make the pleats and
Yes.
the third up and the,
Yes. So I think what I'm going to show you today is going to be the easy version of
Oh,
the
okay,
concept. Okay. And so I have been organized my whole entire life. I just was born that way. And so, I had my dressers, my drawers, they were always nice and orderly and not like everything mixed in there. But I used to stack my shirts and stack my shorts and my jeans and things. And I was like, I don't need to do that Marie Kondo folding thing. My dresser is fine. But then one day I decided to try it. And I was like, I really like this.
you can see everything.
You can see everything. And it actually saves, it creates more space in your drawer, believe it or not. So you can put more stuff. Okay. So the Marie Kondo way of folding, as Renee was saying, it's very specific, and you fold it in, and you fold it in, and and you do all the things. So the main idea, though, is you want to have straight lines. So see, this part is sticking out. So you want to be able to fold it in so that you have straight lines because you're wanting to make basically like a box. And then depending on the height of your drawer, you either are going to pull it up once and maybe again, and then you just have this little box shape. But if you had, say, a tighter space, maybe you fold it over once and then twice. And so it's just a little bit shorter, top to bottom. But you're just creating this square. So, would anyone like to come and fold this t-shirt?
Brave. And I could do it totally different.
But I do it with the,
That way.
can I lean it on something?
Yeah, this table right here. Yes, right here.
Because I think she kind of goes like,
Mm-hmm.
see, and the problem I had is when you're in a drawer and you're trying to stand them up,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times if you don't have the drawer full, they kind of,
Right. This is very true. So if the fabric is softer and the drawer isn't full, then yes, it does kind of topple over.
topple over.
Yeah.
So you actually are supposed to put them on their edges like this?
Yes.
Yeah, you stand them up like
Okay.
this.
So then
So
they
that
would
way when
be.
you look in, you can see all your, it's mainly,
Yes.
I guess you could do the same thing on the shelf, but I think it's more for drawers.
for
Yeah, 'cause you're
drawers,
looking in.
and then you also can use it, you can use it in a basket too.
Yeah.
So basically the idea is, then you can see
Right.
everything from the top, and you pull out what you want, and then everything else doesn't get messed up, in theory.
Have like little shoe stretchers or something that are made to take up the space.
Having something to take up the extra space. Now, another thing to think about though is you could put the folded things in front to back, or side to side, or a combination. Like sometimes I'll do it front to back, and then if I have another section that's not very many things, I'll just put it in between them, side to side. So we'll talk a little bit about drawers a little bit later, about how to organize drawers.
Do you
But
use that method like for larger thing, like sheet sets and that kind of thing? In
Well,
like a linen closet, or
right. So you could, if you wanted, if you had,
it'd be hard though to.
if you're getting them compact enough, and then you're just kind of doing them as a file, kind of like a file, you could. Depends on how you put your sheet sets together. Yeah, there is a product from the Container Store that's kind of like it's like a book, and you put the sheets in there, and you can put it on the shelf. It's kind of like a book. Yeah, it's
Really?
yes, it's over in the closet section. I think in the closet section. Yeah.
I'll be going with that.
Because that's one thing in my linen is that they're like, you know, all over. Then you're trying to find like a pillowcase and you try to bundle them, but
Yes, and some people take the whole sheet set and put it in the pillowcase,
yeah.
and then it's together like that. So yeah,
So
and
simple,
I mean
right?
it's a little bit bulkier, like for
Yeah.
it's not as nice and tidy, but
It's all the
it's all together. Especially if you have somebody else who's changing out the sheets, then they can just take a bundle and make the beds. Yeah. All right, so let me talk about the drawer organizers. So spring-loaded drawer organizers are really helpful. The nice thing about this is you can make the section as big or small as you want, right? Like you have this big drawer. You could put one here and one here. You could just put one in the middle and make your sections as big as you wanted based on what you're storing in here. Another option is something more structured. And this one is a little more dressed up, right? It's this linen, and it has these 3 sections. So then you would this would obviously be for smaller things, but like for undergarments, this could be good for undergarments. And then you would just use these sections. So you could definitely do the Marie Kondo folding in something like this, and for the smaller items. So did you know your socks do not have to live like this?
I hate that.
Mine roll.
They don't have to live like this. So one of the things when I was first doing the Marie Kondo folding in my own dresser is I did my sock drawer. And so you just fold it over. And look how nice and neat that is. And then I have some longer socks. Well, if I just fold them over, they're going to be too tall, right? So then I'll just do that in thirds. And now I have my socks. And then you can separate your dress socks from your sport socks, from your wintry fuzzy socks that you like to wear when it's cold outside. And then you can organize all of that. So
I have something that's like, I don't know how to explain it. It fits into the drawer and it's like, I want to say egg carton, but it's like these little,
oh yes, a crisscross.
yeah, and then each one is about, that big and it's perfect for a pair of socks. And I keep it
Yes,
full of them.
and you just roll it and put it in. Yeah, that's another really good way to organize it. Very good.
No idea where I got this.
Do some of those come like an adjustable for the width of the
I think,
drawer,
yeah,
or-
some of them are adjustable.
You know, some of those cardboard boxes. That was my favorite store.
Well, This is very true. You can use shoe boxes, you can use a variety of things to create structure within a drawer. It doesn't have to be that you purchase a um, specific container for it. You can use kind of what you have on hand at home.
Those are pretty.
It's pretty, yeah. All right, so you have a big, thick scarf like this. Really easy to just fold it, right? It's going to keep its structure. That can go in a bin. But what about this?
Give them away. Get rid of them.
No, this is my
Nicely over hangers.
Oh, there you go.
this is my favorite one.
pretty.
Okay, so one thing you can do for the lighter fabrics is you can just kind of roll it into almost like a little rosette. And then you can have your scarf basket. And then you just would put your scarves in here. So that's another way that you can fold something, even though it's a little bit different than folding like this. Okay. Athletic wear, right? It's kind of slippery, kind of hard to keep its shape. The main thing I want to tell you about this when folding is if you're doing the file folding, then you want to have a straight line. So this part just would simply tuck in. Now you have this straight edge up and down, and you're going to fold it up. And then depending on the height of the drawer you're working with, you can either fold it in half or you can fold it in thirds to create.
So start all over, and then instead of folding it with the pointing it out, do the other way. Yes. And well, I guess you've still got it. And then
You still
I
have it.
still have. So I just prefer that, and I guess I still. But
If you fold it on thirds and kind of tuck it behind and then fold over, then you don't have a pointy thing on the edge.
When it's wide open, you fold it in thirds or like that.
And then you still straighten it out, but it folds flat more in the middle, and then you go from there.
Yeah, interesting. We all have our little ways.
And what is the main thing though? It's getting it into that shape, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So regardless of how you fold it, how you get there, if you're doing the file folding, then that's where you want to get. And so some t-shirts you might fold one way, sweatshirts a different way, sweaters another way. So
It's kind of like when you pack, do you roll or lay flat?
exactly. Okay, let's see what we have next. Choosing the right bins. Now, like I said, there are a variety of bins here, and which bin you choose is going to depend on what you're storing, where in your closet you're storing it. Do you want to see what's in it? Do you not want to see what's in it? Do you, is it a fabric or is it not a fabric? I'll go into that in a little bit more detail. Because not all bins are created equal. Each one has its purpose. Some are simply to look nice and aren't super functional. When I'm organizing with clients, I always start with a function. And then if you want to dress it up, then we can look at bins that have color or texture. But I always start with function and then figure out what aesthetic you want. So some of my favorite containers are the Container Store's just everyday organizers, right? They come in a variety of sizes, but even though this is a shoebox, it also is great for belts and like maybe some small clutches, right? Your heels, all of your, or short boots could go in here. Again, this is for larger, maybe some short boots again, or this could even be some accessories like clutches or something like that. The benefit of this is that it's stackable versus something like this, something like these, they're not stackable. So this is nice because it's stackable. You can see what's inside.
our shoebox there is also magic. A sheet of paper will fit flat in it, so in case you stock up for one room, but then have to move to another room, it fits everything. It is magic.
Yeah, and this one is a little bit more substantial, so I use these for this is like my technology box in the house. You know, I have all my extra cables and things like that, but it's they're so versatile. So in your closet, just keeping in mind, do you want to see it? So we're going to talk about these in a little bit when we talk about shoes, but like this is a really nice, pretty container. It has this beautiful handle on it, this design. It's lined. So if you wanted to use this for fabrics, that would be a great idea. This one would be a really bad idea for fabrics because it's going to snag your scarves, your sweaters, anything that you put in here, right? But this lining in here is going to make it perfect for fabrics. Thank you. But what are you going to put in here? Are you going to put your socks in here? Right? Because it's so big, whatever goes in here, whatever's at the bottom is going to get lost. So this is going to be best for like bigger, bulkier things that it's going to be easy. Again, organizing is also about finding what you want easily. So this bin is going to have a specific purpose. It's not multi-purpose in that way. So again, we talked about this container. It's felt. So I know it has a really good structure, but it's going to be safe for fabrics. And not only that, it has a lid, which means it's stackable, right? So this is a good option. But you cannot see what's in here. So if you cannot see what's in here, you just need to add your label.
Do they come with those little hanging labels? You know?
No, the labels would be purchased, yep, separately.
Everything is static.
Okay, now what do you notice about this container?
Narrow at
It's,
the bottom.
yeah, it's odd shape.
Right? It narrows at the bottom. I practically never get a bin that narrows at the bottom because I feel like you're losing some space. And not only that, if it's upright, and especially if you're in another area of the house and you have like a bottle or something, in this container, it could easily fall and topple over because it doesn't have a straight edge. So this might be fine for fabrics. I generally don't choose this shape, although it is nice and soft and would be good for fabrics. This one I actually have. This is one I have a lot of because of the lining inside. It's pretty. It's got some aesthetic to it, but it also has the lining, which makes it really nice. This one is really pretty too. It's soft. It's decorative. You can see what's in it. Yeah. So again, it just depends on what you're looking for. Start with function and then go with aesthetic.
What about like a laundry bin?
I would choose a laundry bin, again, that has a softer inside, so nothing is going to get snagged. Yeah. Okay. Using containers to switch out your seasonal clothes, taking things that are not in season, being able to put them in a container and put them on a top shelf is helpful because then it kind of lessens the amount of clothes that are in your everyday. And then when the weather changes and you want to switch out the clothes, just reverse and bring out the new current season and switch them with the one that's leaving. Okay. Oh, I wanted to show you just a couple more things on hanging. what if you happen to have a dress, but you don't have a long hang section? You can take a second hanger
Oh, that's clever.
and try to straighten it out as much as you can. This is going to need to be steamed anyway because it's such a soft fabric. but this will allow you to hang it in a shorter section if you just happen to be short on long hang space. And then we didn't go over this before, but this is one way that you can hang a sweater, which is pretty clever. So if this sweater feels a little heavy, and putting it on a hanger like this might cause it to stretch out, right? So a way to hang it so that if you want to hang it, but you don't want it to be stretching, is you fold it in half. And then you take the hanger and you put this part sort of in the armpit of the sweater, so that then you tuck the one side in, and then you tuck the other side in.
It's fascinating.
Right? It's nice. It's going to stay, it's going to keep its shape. Okay, let me see how we're doing on time. We are on to shoes and accessories. Shoes. Now, the number of shoes you have in your closet can like make or break you. Sometimes people have a lot of shoes and they don't really know how to store them well. The Container Store has a lot of options for shoe storage. I'm going to show you a few of them. I didn't get one, but if you peek over to the side, you see the hanging canvas, divided canvas bags. So they have one of those in it for shoes. And if you have space in a long hang section, that's really good. I've used them before and loved them for keeping things organized. So another option is to get a freestanding shoe organizer like this. This bamboo organizer is really nice. It's very sturdy. And the beauty about this is a 2-shelf system, but you can stack as many, well, so many, and have enough shoes for quite a few. This feature right here is a maximizer for your shoe storage. So watch what happens here. So on this shelf, I can put 3 pair of shoes. But if I'm using these, now I'm maximizing the storage with the shoes in the space. So having the right tools can really help maximize the storage in your closet. All right, so we talked a little bit about these shoe containers.
I have a question on that. If you have like a little heel, like not short, but like skinny, are they going to slide off or?
Well,
They adjust the angle.
they do have ones that are adjustable for the height of the shoes. These are just set, but they have another version that is adjustable. And you can set it as high as you need to. You also can turn this one in this other direction. So like if there's a heel, it'll be more toward the front.
Yeah, and it wasn't so much the height, it was the slick, like there's nothing gripping that.
Oh, well, there's a little edge on the back, like that'll keep it in place. Yeah. Hi, welcome. Okay, so drop front shoe boxes. So if you have shoe boxes like this that have a lid and are stacked, then you have to take ones off to get to the ones on the bottom, right? But drop front shoe boxes are really nice because if you have them stacked, you still can get to all of your shoes. So this, this idea is really good for things you're using all the time, and then these are good for things that you're not using often and you want to put up specialty shoes, occasional shoes, out of season shoes. They can go on the top shelf and stack and take advantage of the height you have in your closet. All right, so let's talk a little bit about purses. Smaller purses might be able to fit really easily in a bin. You also could use something like this. And divide them up. Well, maybe the smaller ones. Yeah, this might be a little too small for these examples.
Or upside down.
Oh, upside down. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have ones that have larger sections on them. And then you can see everything. In this one, you can see everything easily. In the bin, this basket, you can't see everything. But again, that depends on what you're trying to accomplish in your closet. Do you want to see everything, or do you want to just know that has my purses and I'll pull the basket down when I want to switch them out? Okay, hats. Obviously, you can display hats in your closet if you like, depending on how fancy your hats are, how much you treasure your hats. You can display them. You can give them their own space. Hat boxes are also helpful for hats. And then for ball caps, there are a variety of different ways to store ball caps, whether they go one behind each other in a container, whether they go in a drawer. There are some hangers that you can clip the hats on. So it depends on how many hats you have and how you're using them. Okay. Belts. What do you do with belts?
And rolled in a basket.
Mm-hmm. Rolled in a basket. In a basket.
I used to have a long pull-out,
Mm-hmm.
slide out that
So
had
that-
hooks.
Mm-hmm. So that it hangs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, that's great. So if you have the space in a long hang section to do a pull-out with hooks, or if you have a section on your wall where you can have hooks, that's really good for belts. Also, just wrapping them and putting them in a container could be something just like a, like a shallow tray. And then this can sit easily underneath of your hanging clothes if you have room. Okay, we're going to finish now with talking about how to create the order in your closet. So once you've done purging, once you've edited out everything that you don't need anymore for this season, then you begin to say, where are things going to live in the closet? So having all of your shirts together, your pants together, your shoes together, that creates order. Those are creating zones in your closet. Having things you wear more frequently toward the front of your closet, things less frequently toward the back, that's also creating zones based on how you're using the items. Having your shoes more accessible toward the front also is helpful a lot of times. But what happens if you have a closet that has one shelf and one rod, an open space below, an open space above? How do you create order in a closet like that?
Closet board.
You, get a new closet system, which is an option, and it can be a very good investment if that is right for you. And I also design closets, and I had a client who I designed the closet for her, and then my team was supposed to go organize the closet after it had been installed. And she said, you know, the closet was so well designed, it organized itself. And that is to say, when you have the drawers and the hanging and the shelves, when you have the right structure, you can put things away and it just stays in order. It just stays in order. But if you don't, if investing in a new system isn't right for you at all, at this time or at all, now there are some other things you can do to create more structure in your closet. So adding drawers, if you have a hanging section and there's space underneath, you can add a set of drawers. Now, this is the Alpha system, which you can configure it how you want, deep drawers, shallow drawers. It comes on wheels or not on wheels. It's really, really nice. But you also can get some stacking drawers like these. Choose your color or have a variety. And they're very generous, so you can put generous sized items in there. So depending on what you're looking for, what your price point is, there are lots of options. And then if you want drawers on a shelf in your closet for some smaller things, like these are really nice. You can see in them. They stack nicely together. So this is another way to create storage inside the closet in a way that will create the order that you're looking for and help maintain that order that you're looking for. Okay, I think I have touched on all the things that I wanted to. And again, I just wanted to say, I'll have some time for question and answer, but I wanted to say thank you for coming and sitting here with me today during the workshop, Conquering Closet Chaos. You have my brochure there with you. Again, I've been organizing since 2015, and I love helping people figure out what works the best in their space. And whatever support that they need from my team, you know, it's very customized. That's what we bring to the table. So if you feel that all of this sounds wonderful and amazing, but you don't want to do it yourself, either you don't want to, or maybe you're like, I'm not quite sure I could go home and do all those things that she said, then that's why my team is available to assist in any way that you need. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was very interesting. I mean, I learned after hanging the sweater. Oh, that was amazing.
That was your favorite?
And then the other thing about actually standing things on their edge.
Yes.
That was a new one.
Folding, the file folding.
that way.
Yeah, the file folding, yes.
I feel pretty good about what I already did. So.
You now know that you're in pretty good shape.
I am in pretty good shape. My husband, like I said, he needs to come to this class. But
Nice.
And I get to start completely over, so when I move back in.
Yeah, so Renee just got a new closet system to create the order that she needs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any questions?
no, I'm sorry. No, I was just going to say, I thought this was helpful.
It was very good.
Very nice.
Oh, okay.
Do you have any brochures along for your paper organizing? Or can you talk just a moment about that?
Yes, absolutely. I don't have a brochure specific to that, but paper organizing, so there's the process of organizing, which I meant to tell you about, which I forgot. The process of organizing is sorting, getting all like things together, no matter what category it is. Get all of your like things together, so then you can see how much you have of that. So for instance, when you're in your kitchen and you put all of your whisks together and you realize you have 5 whisks and you only make muffins like once a month, 5 whisks is probably more than you need. So then you can purge the excess, right? You can purge it because you know I have what I need. But if there's 1 whisk in this drawer and 1 whisk in that drawer and 1 whisk in that drawer, you're like, well, I can't get rid of this whisk. It's the only one I have, right? So sorting is the first thing. And then you can purge. So the second step is purging. So even with paper, sorting the paper, purging.
What's the categories of paper sorting? Or what do you? sorting
Mm-hmm.
kinds of papers
Yes,
together?
good question. So the first thing that we do with paper sorting is, does this paper have an action? Does it require an action or not? I mean, that's like the very first one, right? Does this piece of paper require me to do something? And that goes in an action system. And if the answer is no, then it can go over here in a reference section. If you need to keep it, if you want to be able to reference it later. If the answer is I don't want to reference it later, then you just shred it or pitch it. But then once we have those all separated, then we can go through all the reference, the stuff that's been held onto for years, and begin to purge from there what is no longer needed. Old bank statements, old manuals for things that you don't even own anymore. Just kind of purge through there. So then you really pare down to, what paper do I currently need now? That would go in a system that really would go like in a file drawer or in a file box, and it just kind of sits over here because you're not in and out of it all the time. And then the action system, that's typically I have like a basket like this, and I have pocket folders for your different actions, and that's something that would sit on your desk. That would sit on your kitchen counter. New documents, new paper comes into the house. You open your mail, you say, does this require an action? Yes, it's going to go in the action basket, whatever your actions are. And then once that action is completed, then again, you say, do I need this paper now? If yes, it goes into the reference section. But that way you don't have piles of paper building up, and you don't have important things that have deadlines mixed in with magazines from AAA that I'm not reading that, so then that bill that's underneath is getting lost. Yeah. So there's a system that I use with paper organizing. It's called thredUP Filer. It's a kit that can be purchased. It's a San Diego company. And you can set it up yourself. I set those up with my clients. So we work together, we talk about the paper, we talk about what files you need, because even though it does have some pre-printed files, like categories that everybody has, there will probably be some categories that are just specific to you, in paper that you have. And then it's customizable in that way. And then just teaching you how to use the system, how to switch over, because it's a little bit different than the traditional filing, but it simplifies the process. Yeah. So that's my paper
Does it
filing.
also have electronic version?
I'll have to check on that, because I know that they were working in that direction.
Because more and more stuff now is
Online.
computer.
Yes.
Logging in.
Yes, I'll have to check. I know they were wanting to create something digital, so I'll have to see if they have completed that. Yeah.
What's the company name that puts it out, or is that free?
thredUP Filer. Yeah, it's like I said, it's a San Diego-based company, so.